Hi, I'm Judith Cassel-Mamet, and I invite you to join me on a journal tour of my recently completed nature journal from the spring and summer. I cut out these little leaf shapes and glued them down, played with that sit and flick technique. You can find that on another YouTube video. And then played with some iridescent watercolor on black using that same technique. This is contour sketching using watercolor pencils, and then I added a little watercolor. And I had fun stamping some of my pages, pre-stamping my pages so I had room to indicate the date where I did the page. This is a contour drawing of a sort of a dead leaf, and then I just added watercolor along the background. And then I forced a branch to bloom, and I watched it for 4 days and recorded the growth. Playing with a nest form, and then it snowed in Denver, and so I played with capturing the snow on the pine boughs. And I just had such a good time noticing the emerging growth. And here's that branch that I had stuck in water to force the growth. Observing some of the new forms that were emerging and also some of the brown forms. Playing with a slightly different color wheel that looked at all of my greens together and all of my different colors in a group so I could see what I had, and then doing the sit and flick. Playing with undertones and all the varieties of green. And I really got into making maps this time around. So here's a map of my daily walk. And then I took 3 days to find things that were surprising as the flowers were blooming, and I recorded these areas. And then I played with a technique called pulling a line, which really is the foundation for most watercolor work, and looking for different colors of green. And I recorded a really fun day in nature when my sister came to visit, and we saw all these chickens. And the sky has been very important to me the last few months, looking up out the window. And again, after a storm, collecting leaves of different colors. And then this is a super fun technique of petal prints where you set the flower down and press down hard and then go back over it with pen to capture the actual shape. But the cool thing is these colors will last for a long time. And some more work looking at the sky because it's just been too hot to go out. And then I added some more of those little cutout leaf shapes. And here are my garden failures. It's almost the beginning of August, and I had a lot of stuff that just didn't grow this summer, and then a bunch of things that did. And I'm calling these hatchmark flowers that are really fun to create and then cut out. And here's another map of my pathway and the trees that I love looking at every day. And number 1 corresponds to this little drawing, a close-up of the bark. And I had fun just kind of seeing how the bark is different colors and different texture on all the trees around here. And this is my favorite tree, the weeping willow. And I attached that just to have a little flap. And more looking at leaves that are different colors and trying to capture all the different colors. And that's the end of my book. I hope you find a page or two that's inspiring and that you have a good time keeping your nature journal. If you like this video, please indicate it down below with a thumbs up and subscribe. And check out my other videos that show some of the techniques I just shared with you in my journal.